our nominees and guests in attendance, and to those watching live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Welcome to the Oklahoma Sports Network Football Awards Night from the McCaslin Ballroom at Cameron University in Lawton, Oklahoma. Now to your MC for this evening, the executive producer for the Oklahoma Sports Network, Eric Sherem.
Thank you. Welcome to our fourth annual OSN football banquets, recognizing the best of the best, and we have some of the best of our 13 schools represented tonight. First, I want to thank Sedesco and their fine meal and presentation that they always do an exquisite job. Let's give them a hand. I was going to stay away from the chocolate cake. I told my wife I wasn't going to eat dessert, but it was too delectable, and it was very good. So if you did not get a piece of chocolate cake, maybe if there's one piece, you can take it along the way. I also want to thank Scott's House of Flowers for their great arrangements, their support of us all of these years. You'll notice their personal touch on some of the tables, and each one of those tables, I don't even want to fight over it, but you're welcome to take one of those home to still further enjoy. So please take that. And Scott's House of Flowers also donated not only the flowers on the table, but the floral arrangement that will be given to our Coach's Wife of the Year award. I also want to thank some of those on our OSN, and we have several that are represented. I could call them each out by name, that I really lean on them because without them we wouldn't do what we do each and every week. Some of them are here tonight. Some will be interviewing some of our nominees. I kind of want to spread this around so it's not just me. I was always told I had a face for radio. I do that. 40 plus years in radio, and then I had to go to a visual concept, and I really don't feel comfortable still being on camera, on TV, but here we are nonetheless. Now, this would be possible if it was not for their hard work and dedication. And of course, I want to thank you, the viewers, who engage us and follow us every step of the way. Last year, another record for viewership was set with over 1 million views. And this year, going to surpass that amount because we're still ahead just at the end of football and into basketball season. We've seen continued increased followers on our social media, and we thank you, our media platforms, and especially YouTube, which we're live on, and Facebook Live as well. One more grateful acknowledgement is we're thankful for our continued relationship with Cameron University. It's been our location of our home office. They're in the CEDIS office for many years, and we are indeed grateful. I want to thank them for the use of this great banquet room each year of our 4 years that we've conducted this. With that, I want to bring up the current Cameron president to welcome you, just to say a few words, the president of Cameron University, Dr. Shane Hunt.
How's everybody doing tonight? I told my table this, but it's definitely a great day to be an Aggie. We are so thrilled that you all are here. I met some people for the first time today. We are blessed to have now been here about 9 months as president of Cameron University, and we are so honored and thrilled to host it. I just want to say 2 quick shout-outs from Cameron. One is I want to give a shout-out to all of the students tonight that are part of this process and tell you that we need your greatness. My 19th year being a professor, I was a business school dean for 8 years at 2 other schools, coming here as Cameron. I get asked every single week, do you have an amazing new graduate that we can hire and pay top dollar? And by the way, you have someone with a background in sports, that's even better. Because they know what that discipline and that work ethic means in whatever industry they're in. So keep striving and being great. And I want to make another shout out on this too. So despite Eric, what I like to think is a young man looking at myself in the mirror, despite that, my wife and I have a 24-year-old son and a daughter who's a sophomore in college. And I tell my students this all the time. There is no phrase that I dislike more than someone saying they are a self-made man or a self-made woman. Every person who achieves at a high level in anything is able to do that because of the people who care about them and support them and love them. And so to all of the family members, friends who are here tonight supporting your athletes, congratulations to you. Thank you for being here. We hope you come back to campus and be part of the Cameron University family. We are honored to host this. Thank you all. God bless. Go Aggies.
Total of 13 schools in the network and growing. Some big announcements coming with new schools that will be added that I'm very, very excited to bring. We're now in our 10th year. Can't believe that. You know, people were asking how this got started, an old radio guy. And this Ardmore group came up with all of their lugged equipment with cameras and tripods and computers. And I said, what on earth is this? He said, if you're not doing this, you're missing out something really special. So I was really grateful for them to pass on their knowledge. And 10 years after that, still broadcasting with what we love each season to keep you connected with live sports. Tonight we'll be honoring and acknowledging some of our top athletes from the past football season and what a season 2025 was for OSN. Listen to the stats. 8 of 13 schools made the playoffs. 5 made the semifinals. 3, the state finalists, 2 state champions, and 1 runner-up, who is the defending state champion from the previous year. One of our state champions surpassed a state record with a total of 20 state championships, a new record, tying with Ada last year with 19, moving on to 20. Carl Albert has done that. It's also a season that we saw a team go 7-0 for the first time since 1969, along with a freshman from that school that broke 5 school records. And he is here with us tonight. One of our schools that moved up to 4A to 5A, the Newcastle Racers, for the past 2 seasons, are the second most winning program behind Carl Albert. We witnessed one of the nominees honored tonight saw his 100th career touchdown. And one of our on-air talents, who started out as a sideline reporter some years ago while attending OSU, became Miss Oklahoma and competed for the Miss America pageant. Wasn't for Miss Tessa Durrell, we would not really have Jones in our family. Her dad's on the staff, and we got that connected a couple years ago. She has a prior commitment that prevented her from being here tonight. Oh, how she loves her Jones Longhorns. They have 3 from Jones that will be honored tonight. So what a season to remember of 2025. So it's time to look back with a short video recap of last year's football season. It can't be everything. We'd be here all night. Some of the key moments that we've highlighted, starting with our media day. We start out bragging about our teams in our football preview show to the rest of the 2025 football season. Tonight we'll be honoring and meet our standout nominees for the following categories, starting with our newest category added to this year, Offensive Lineman of the Year. We'll have Defensive Player of the Year, Newcomer of the Year, Coach of the Year, and OSN Player of the Year for 2025. You're hearing from each one of them as we'll have our nominees come to the stage. We will announce our winners as we progress through the program. Before we get to our nominees and awards, our first presentation will be our Legacy Award. It's those we want to personally thank and remember for their dedication. Those who believed in us when we were just a concept. Just think coming into your office at 10 years ago and saying, these are the things we had to grow on. And it's kind of amazing when you see technology change. When we say we were going to go streaming, you thought we had a third head. People didn't really know what streaming was 10 years ago. In fact, they say, well, what is streaming? Is that kind of like radio on the internet? How do I listen to it? And we had to kind of work through that. There was no Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV, which we have all of those platforms where you can watch in your homes. That time, people had to ask, well, how can I watch it on my TV? 10 years ago, literally, we had to say, get your laptop out, get an HDMI cord, and plug it into your TV. Now we have smart devices. We have everything that goes right up on the screen as necessary. But this was a concept some 10 years ago. But we remember the dedication that these groups, these people, individuals believed in us before this was a reality. It was just a dream, and they bought into our vision some 10 years ago. This year's recipient is Comanche County Memorial Hospital, which is now Memorial Health System. And to represent them, please welcome the Chief Executive Officer of Memorial Health, Mr. Brent Smith. Every year we look to honor these who make a difference from behind the scenes. For our first time, we'd like to honor one of our coaches' wives. When it was suggested by one of the coaches to acknowledge a coach's wife, I love the idea. Some of you coaches told me the same. All of what it takes and their dedication and what it meant. If you'd like to read a few responses to some of these coaches that gave about their wives. Before we announce this recipient, even though all of them are truly deserving of this, one coach writes, she goes above and beyond for our family and football program every fall. There are many unseen hours that I have had to attend. She never bats an eye on any of it and even encourages me, which makes me feel confident to go and do tasks. She cooks meals for our coaches after our games on Friday nights. This past season was very unique for our family, the delivery of our second child, which happened to be in the middle of the state championship practice week. I missed practice on Wednesday. She made sure I went back to practice on Thursday and the rest of the week. Greatest dedication had during this strenuous period in our lives was that she was not missing a game. She loaded up Caroline, a 3-day-old Lainey, and Grandma, and drove to Edmond for the game. It was a cold night. Luckily, she was able to sit in the suite. Being a coach's wife is possibly the most thankless job in the world, one coach writes. They hear daily the good and bad from us, the coach. They sit in the stands on a Friday night and hang on with each snap that everything goes right. But at the core, the level of love and care mine has for our players is what impresses me the most. Someone struggling with something she knows and helps. The amount of food and clothes given to players through the years is at a high level. Amount of rides to and from practice can't count high enough. Being a coach's wife isn't what people think. It's far more. Season brought a whole new meaning to football family as my wife went through breast cancer. Somehow she still found a way to care for the kids in the normal ways. Football was a great mental release for our entire family, and especially her. She has made so many sons, she said. She pours into our program with her whole heart, getting to know our players, support the booster club, and jumping in whatever's needed. Team meals to every behind-the-scene detail. My 17 years as head coach, she's never missed a single game. Her dedication, loyalty, and genuine care for their athletes and families are a cornerstone of our program, and we're better because of her. And now for our first recipient of the award, writes the following. A coach's wife is a hard position in many cases. It is much harder than being the head coach. Coach's wife has to sit among the critics on Friday night and smile as she hears the good and worst of what people say about her husband. She has to be a PR person. She has to be the confidant when things aren't going well. She has to be a widow each August through November or December. She also has to take care of the home and business during season. In most cases, has to pick her up, her family, and move at a moment's notice for the betterment of her husband's career. The biggest word to describe a good coach's wife is sacrifice. Coach's wife is made of sacrifice, like being the head coach. Not every woman is cut out to be a football coach's wife. Margaret is, and has all been those things I described above. She's been my rock. She's held the family together all these years through the ups and downs of my career. She has sacrificed above and beyond what is asked for. She has picked up and moved homes, our kids, and her job. For my career, she is the ultimate supportive coach's wife. In all my years of coaching, she never missed a game until this year. She only missed a couple of away games this year due to her illness and treatments, but still faithfully watched, cheered, and supported our team, watching the games on OSN. When in season, our date nights consist of going, scouting opponents, of hosting get-togethers for the coaching staff. My wife, Margaret Griffin, the best coach's wife I have ever seen. This year's Coach's Wife Award is presented to Miss Margaret Griffin, Farron Griffin of Walters, Oklahoma. You'll come up at this time. I know I messed up with my crew back there, and they're really hating me because I went off script on my page, so I know that that's not going to be beating well for them, but we'll get back on track here. Get one of yours. Nathan, can I get your script, please? From where it's at. I think that he'll get it for me. Nothing like live TV. It's where I cut away for a commercial. I'll get back on track. I kind of knew we were kind of out of order when I was seeing the slides weren't going where they needed to be. Thank you. I think I need the whole thing. Okay, why don't you do the next slide there for me so I can get on track here. So this is our first category of Offensive Lineman of the Year. As I call out your name, if you'll please come up, and then we'll have you interviewed here, and then we'll announce the winner. First nominees awards will come from our newest category, Offensive Lineman of the Year. These nominees, and if you'll come to the stage when your name is called, Garrett Pratt from Newcastle. He had 76 pancake blocks, which was a school record. Go to the next slide right there. Walter Rhodes III of MacArthur with 92 pancake blocks, grading out at 92.4% the entire season. And Thomas Welch from Carl Albert with 35 pancake blocks, averaging 91% grading throughout the season. You'll play that video while Josh Calloway comes up here in a minute. Play the next the video, yes.
Player. Congrats, guys. First ever Offensive Lineman of the Year nominees. Pretty cool, really cool that they added this award this year. Quick question for each three of you guys, and we'll find out who won this thing. I'll start down there with you, Garrett. I guess I should start down here to the mic. Garrett, I had the benefit, I did Newcastle football this year, so I got to see you guys all year long. Eric mentioned it, school record for pancake blocks this year, that entire offensive line group. I also had a fantastic year. We gave our Player of the Game award to the offensive line more than a couple times this year. Just talk about the year that you guys had as a unit. What made you guys so good this year?
Honestly, our coaching staff, I got to give a lot of thanks to them. We preach most physical unit in the state, and I believe that we accomplished that. We believe the game's won at the line of scrimmage, and that's how we got where we did.
Walter, we'll shift to you in the middle, my man. 92 pancake blocks. That's obviously an insane number. Two-part question. Do you have a favorite? Is there one that stands out this year where you just really got someone good? And then describe the feeling for me when you put someone down, because that's something I'll never do, never have done, never will do. I need to know from you.
So we was playing Doe City, and we called Chevy, so I had to pull. I'm pulling, and I don't know, I cracked somebody, and they fall, they bounce. They bounce on the ground. So that's probably my favorite. And I don't know, it's not like it. Being able to overpower somebody and put them in the dirt, that's one of the best feelings, I think, in football.
Well, you did it a lot, 92 this year, obviously. Thomas, we'll finish with you, man. Carl Albert, Eric mentioned it, state champions this year. Congrats, obviously a phenomenal season for you guys. 20th, so not just any state title, you broke the record this season. I remember talking to Coach Dunn, obviously, about it, what that meant to him. Just for you to win a state championship, but then to also break that record. What did that mean for you and your team this year? And describe that feeling on that day when you guys beat McGinnis. Just walk me through it. It has to be the best feeling in the world.
To be honest, it was a very amazing, exhilarating yet calming feeling. Because, Carl Albert, it's a hard place to stand out and set a legacy with all of the amazing players and all of the amazing years that we've had there. And this year we had opportunity as a team to really set ourselves as a team apart while also setting ourselves as a school apart. So it was very nice to be able to make history at a school like Carl Albert. And just to that game, it felt amazing. Like, to be able to go out there, I felt like the whole team was just together and just in the zone, and we were just firing on all cylinders in all phases of the game. And when that happens, you typically win the game, and sure enough, we did, so it felt pretty good.
Incredible season, obviously, for yourself and all three of you guys, and whoever wins it, all three very deserving. You can always say first ever Offensive Lineman of the Year at OSN. So, Eric, should we do this? All right. All righty, I get to present the award this year. The very first ever OSN Offensive Lineman of the Year in 2025, Lawton MacArthur's Walter Rose. Talk about another pancake. Congratulations, guys.
I want to thank Josh Calloway from 24/7 Sports, representing the University of Oklahoma, and also for OSN for all these many years. I want to talk a little bit about the judging process. It's been asked, several have watched, said, how do you come up with what you have as your final selection? 4 years now of representing these awards to our football standouts. How is it done? How do we get the 3 nominees? Where do they come from? Well, I started at the end of the season and asked all 13 coaches to submit their nominees for their categories. I then turn this over to committee for a breakdown to reach the top 3 in each category. Process is not complete at this point. I just don't pick a favorite or cast a vote to who I think should win or will win. So I have 5 anonymous judges who I trust to be impartial, some that are in the industry representing media or experts in recruiting, and those who know and follow high school football in our state. That collective 5 gets 75% of the vote. We also have one current coach who's not coached against any of our teams. By the way, this coach is a state champion coach, and he gets 15% of the vote by himself, and you tally the rest 10% for some of us at OSN. How we get this is I ask each of the judges not just to pick a winner, but I want you to nominate 1 through 3. So you can see it's a numbering system. So my 1 may be someone else's 2. And so in our first year, it was fractions of a point. I will say that I've had some judges reach out and say this is the toughest year that they've had. Category of the nominees are just too outstanding. Where do they go from here? I think we've done our best to make it the fairest way to come up with the final tally and winner, even though I do believe they are all winners. After 3 years of doing this banquet, we started to add to our celebration, not only with the Coach's Wife Award for those who've added successes in our team's network. So if I would invite Levi Tovar to come up at this time to give us the most improved team of all of our 13 schools for 2025. Levi Tovar is our announcer, producer, executive producer of the Altus Bulldogs.
All right, so what do you do if your team is 6-42 the previous 5 years? You find Jesus and you pray. Honestly, it was rough because Altus is born and raised there, bleed Bulldog Blue, and all you want is just to see your boys succeed. And the 2025 Altus Bulldogs made a decision to do something about it. So months before the fall arrived, they determined this season would be different. Prior to the 2025 season, the Altus Bulldogs averaged only 14 points per game. In 2025, the Bulldogs averaged 43 points per game and broke 13 school records. 13. And a lot of that was done where I had to make asterisks and just notes as I'm calling a game and trying to keep up with these stats. I told Coach Reed many times, slow down just a little bit. Just a little bit for me, please. But it was a blast to do so. And during that time frame, the Altus defense, prior to 2025, averaged giving up more than 40 points a game. In the 2025 season, the Bulldogs only gave up 26 points per game. Each week as the season advanced, the Bulldogs checked off another milestone. First, opening with a game win since 2018. Going 6-0 since 1995. 7-0 since 1969. It was also the first time since 2018 the Altus Bulldogs earned a playoff berth, had a winning season. It's come full circle, and I'm super excited to give this award. The Altus Bulldog team was so special. This year's most improved team goes to the Altus Bulldogs. Coach Reed, come up and accept this award for us, please.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time. Ready to shine. Brighter than all of the lights. Cause when it's game time, seconds away and the game's on the line. There ain't no doubt in my mind. Beating the buzzer like, this is my time. This is my moment. You better bet that I'm on it. Ready and set, I'ma own it. Blast it to 10 and keep going. There ain't no coasting. I never settle, don't play. Putting the kettle to flame. I go 100 all day. Foot on the pedal, no brakes. 10, 9, paid on my dues, waited in line. 8, 7, now it's my time that I take mine. 6, 5, king of the jungle, heart of a lion. 4, 3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time. I'm on the rise, can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time, ready to shine, brighter than all of the lights. That's when it's game time. Seconds away and the game's on the line. There ain't no doubt in my mind. Beating the buzzer like, this is my time. This is my time. This is my shot clock goes tick-tock. Haters wish that I slip. No, I don't miss. MJ on hits. Watch me pop off, I'm the king now. Moonwalk to the ring now. Keep on wondering how. Let that choir sing now. 10, 9, paid all my dues, waited in line. 8, 7, now it's my time that I take mine. 6, 5, king of the jungle, heart of a lion. 4, 3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time. I'm on the rise, can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time, ready to shine, brighter than all of the lights. That's when it's game time. Seconds away and the game's on the line. There ain't no doubt in my mind. Beating the buzzer like, this is my time. This is my time. This is my time. I'm on the rise, can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time, ready to shine, brighter than all of the lights. That's when it's game time. Seconds away and the game's on the line. There ain't no doubt in my mind. Beating the buzzer like, this is my time. This is my moment. You better bet that I'm on it. Ready and set, I'ma own it. Blast it to 10 and keep going. There ain't no coasting, I never settle, don't play. Putting the kettle to flame. I go 100 all day. Foot on the pedal, no brakes. 10, 9, paid on my dues, waited in line. 8, 7, now it's my time that I take mine. 6, 5, king of the jungle, heart of a lion. 4, 3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come.
Another new addition to our banquet is our comeback game of the year. We had two standouts. One was MacArthur down 3 touchdowns in the second half, only to come back and win in overtime against Ponca City. Our other was also this team who was down in the fourth quarter in a big district game. It's homecoming week. Game had been moved to Thursday due to weather, and there was a delayed start due to weather, pushing it back to a 7:30 kickoff time. Any of you remember that nightmare night? In fact, I was notified by this team that is a recipient of it that a wind gust came in and knocked the Clinton camera into our camera. Theirs went completely out, and we had a backup camera that we could at least do a little bit of our best to keep streaming. This was a big game. We had to keep our playoff hopes alive. We understood Clinton was a good football team, but we believed we matched up well against them. This was an offensive game. Both defenses struggled to get stops going into halftime. Cash was up 21-13 after halftime. Then the offenses stayed hot. It was back and forth game until the entire second half. At the end of the fourth quarter, they scored to go up 35-28 with 3 minutes left in the game. For multiple penalties, we ended up in a second 25 from our own 27-yard line. That's when the game changed. Through a swing screen to sophomore running back Johnny Canada, who took it 73 yards to tie the game with 2 minutes remaining in the game. Our defense made some adjustments, got a big stop at the end of the game to keep Clinton from driving down to score. In the first overtime, both offenses scored quickly. In the second overtime, our defense scored 3 plays, netting just 3 yards that forced the Red Tornadoes to kick a field goal. When we got the ball in the second overtime, we needed just 2 big runs from Mario Famero to pull off the upset and come back, beating Clinton 48-45 in double overtime. Please give it up for the Cash Bulldogs, our comeback game of the year. Defense plays a vital role in a team each year, and this year has some great standouts. Well, our nominees come up to this stage as their names are announced. First, Rickland Holmes II of Dell City. This is a D1 standout. He is a two-way player and could have well been nominated for Player of the Year, but it was his solid defensive performance that had him with 96 tackles, 16 for loss, 5 sacks, an INT, and a touchdown. He is committed to the University of New Mexico Lobo football. Please welcome Rickland Holmes II. Second nominee, Jagger Weaver of Bethany. Also a player that is used in multiple ways, including offense and special teams, where he now holds the single-season return record for the Bethany Broncos. He had 98 tackles, 2 INTs, and a touchdown, was named Class 4A West All-Star Football Team, and will be attending Olivet Nazarene University in Illinois. Jagger Weaver. Final nominee, Luke DeBusk of Jones, also a utility-type player, used when necessary, 110 total tackles, 7 sacks, 10 for loss, 3 forced fumbles, and 2 recoveries, and Jones's all-time leading career tackles with 466. He is committed to Culver Stockton College. Please give it up to Mr. DeBusk. I have Jordan Ray, who's going to be from the Mid-Del region. We're going to ask our players, the 3 nominees, our questions for tonight.
All right, first off, how many guys watched the hockey game yesterday? That was very thrilling for me to watch. So we saw firsthand when you have one great player on defense or several, like that goalie Connor Hollenbach, it can make a huge difference. So I'm very happy to be interviewing these defensive guys that have done such a great job this season, stopping their opponents from scoring. So let's talk about that. Ricklin, you do a lot of things for your team.
Yes, sir.
You punt, you're a running back, but I think your calling card is on defense. That's where you're going to play at the next level, I believe. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir, it is.
What makes being a really good defensive player on a really good defense so satisfying?
Just knowing that everybody's doing their job, so it makes your job easier. You don't really have to think about much. You're just flying around making plays.
All right, and do you have a favorite defensive game this year?
Probably against Midwest City.
I was there, I remember that. By the way, that wasn't you that got blocked by that Lawton Mack lineman, was it, when he was talking about that?
No, that was Thank you.
Okay, Jaggers, same question for you. I mean, you've had an outstanding year. What's satisfying about being a good defensive player on a really good defense?
Just being able to know that everybody's counting on you, everybody in the stands, all your teammates, all the practice you've put in is to stop somebody in front of you, and everybody's counting on you to do that.
Do you have a favorite tackle from the season?
No, sir, I don't.
Favorite game that you guys played a good defensive effort on?
We played Blanchard, and I had a go-ahead pick six that I was pretty proud of. So.
Hey, when the defensive guy scores, that's always a nice bonus. All right, Luke. Newly crowned state champion, right?
Yes, sir.
What was satisfying for you about playing on such a dominant defense this year? An undefeated team, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, just being able to lead that group and doing what we did, was pretty remarkable and something I'll never forget.
Anything particularly memorable for you in that state championship game against Washington?
I mean, probably just bringing it back home. It was a great feeling.
All right, well, congratulations to all three of you. You guys will stand up. All right, here we go.
Looking to pass. Looking. Intercepted! Wilkins. There goes Weaver. Go! He's got all the way to run. The 20. Now at the 10. And it's going to be a pick six. Touchdown.
That's what I'm talking
Jagger
about.
Weaver. Oh.
I could feel it in my bones, folks. I knew it.
Okay, here we go now. And the winner for the 2025 Oklahoma Sports Network Defensive Player of the Year is Luke DeBusk of Jones.
of the sights and sounds of when you're coaches and players, you don't get to see all what we see behind the scenes. We want to thank Adam right here. He's our awesome videographer and photographer that makes us look good each and every Friday night. So now we come to our Newcomer of the Year. Now, Newcomer, not necessarily a freshman, even though we have one, can be an outstanding, a junior that has come out of the scene after a couple of years. Could be someone that just had an overall great year. As I introduce all of these, if they'll come up when they get their name. All these standouts are new, taking over in a full-time role. As I mentioned, they don't have to be freshmen, even though one of them is defined in that way. A newcomer is someone who broke out of the scene in a big way. All three in this category for this year are quarterbacks. If you don't think the future is bright, listen to this stat combined. These three have thrown for 7,696 yards, rushed for 1,112 yards, and had 107 combined touchdowns. First nominee, Anderson Collier of Carl Albert. He was 145 for 213 passing, 2,248 yards passing, 25 touchdowns with 0 INTs, rushed for 147 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wanted to say that his dad, who's also the athletic director for Middell, his dad was the last state championship quarterback for Midwest City. Now his son is in the role as a Carl Albert quarterback. And I remember I was telling him at the table when we went to have Midwest City's first year, they were on the road to Arkansas. This young man was with a football on the sidelines, just throwing it up, just being a little kid. And now he's all grown up and one of our nominees. Jamin Reed of Altus, 216 for 347 passes, 2,984 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, rushed for 750 yards with 15 touchdowns, and broke 5 school records. Jamin Reed. Final nominee, Caden Boletto of Elgin. He was 140 for 203 yards passing. That's a 69% rate. 2,464 yards, 27 touchdowns with only 2 INTs. He rushed for 215 yards, had 3 touchdowns rushing. And this young man had to follow in the footsteps of a 4-year starter who was last year's OSN Player of the Year. I'd like to bring Kirk Norman up. And Kirk, by the way, let's give Kirk a hand. He is part of the Carl Albert swim team. You can play the video.
He's going to keep it himself. He cuts to the outside. Keep running, Anderson. Run, man. Hold that ball. Touchdown, Carl Albert.
Well, Newcomer is kind of a tough term for you guys. You guys have put up all the stats. You've done everything necessary to show that you're competent in everything that you've done. And so I'm going to ask you questions that are a little bit more about you. Everybody knows what you can do on a football field. I want to hear a little bit more about who you are. So, Anderson, if you could go back to your first day, what one piece of advice would you give your freshman self?
I would say that trusting in God's plan and know that it's not going to work out on my timing, but I'm going to get my shot and it's going to all be worth it.
Absolutely, a great answer. So let's go on over to Jamin. Jamin, you came in as a freshman this year. We've seen already you lit up the field at Altus, and we watched how that happened. So how does the person standing here today differ from the person that started this journey way back when you were starting with your Summer Pride or whatever you go through there?
I would say leadership. I'm way better at leadership now than I was going into Summer Pride. From starting as a freshman on a very senior-driven team, it just helps build leadership skills, and that's where I feel I'm better at.
All right, thank you so much. And Caden, so we saw your stats, we see your numbers, but what's the biggest moment where you realized, hey, I can compete at this level all the way?
Definitely spring ball at Carl Albert. Knew my team trusted me to step in a spot as a covering for a 4-year starter, and just had to take that role on.
All right, thank you guys so much. These are your newcomers. We know what they can do. It's more to see who they are, and we're just excited to be able to share this with you. And we're going to go over and check out the newcomer of the year. Newcomer of the Year 2025, and the winner this year, Jamin Reed of Altus.
This time we want to nominate or congratulate our Academic Athlete of the Year. I'll have James Stanley come up and present that award.
Good evening. Football is a commitment, and so is the hard work in the classroom. We want to honor at this time the academic award for the student who possesses both excellence on and off the field. And this year's recipient is Kel Manning. This young man grew up around football in his whole life. This year he held a 4.15 GPA for the fall semester and a 4.17 during his high school career. Ranks 14 in his class. He was also acknowledged this year in Region 4 Oklahoma Coaches Association Scholar Athlete of the Year. This year, our Academic Achievement Award goes to Kel Manning of MacArthur.
This is the part of what I enjoy the most because this is why we do it. We've always said that we love what we do and that sports is our middle name. And we're grateful for the great talent that calls our games each and every week. Whether you watch them live or you have to watch them on demand. I think after seeing this, you'll see that they love what they do. Let's have our play-by-plays of 2025.
Back to pass. They're looking for it. Jamel's open. Finds him. In stride. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
First down run here for TJ Bradford. A hurdle. And he's still on his feet. TJ Bradford down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. TJ TD. That's how you flip a football game. 79 yards to the house.
Wow, and no flag. Simpson going to roll out. Trying to find somewhere to go, makes one man miss in the backfield. Now Simpson turns on the Jets, and here we go. The blocker sets up for him. It's a first down. Gets all the field yards back in some. Simpson tracks into the end zone, and the electrifying Joseph Simpson does it again.
22-yard attempt. Ball down, kick up, kick on its way, and this kick is good.
It's good.
Ball game in overtime.
That's what I'm talking about.
They storm the field. The Highlanders
Never
win
quit.
in OT. That's right, never quit.
Back to pass, man open, over the middle, intercepted by Nicholas Holmes at the 50, Nicholas Holmes at the 40, he's got blockers in front of him. Nicholas Holmes out of bounds at the 15-yard line with 55 seconds to play in the game. Snap down, hold good, kick up, kick is good! It's good! Jordan Ely with 3.9 seconds left to go gives Del City the lead.
He will throw on 1st and 10. He's got time. He launches, and it's caught, and it's going to be a touchdown. Davion Cochran.
Bishop goes in motion, takes the handoff. He's around the left side. He's got some room. He's going to be close. He's going to take it in for a Blue Devil touchdown.
Handoff is to Sweat to the right side. He's going to make it. He's going to have plenty of room. He could break away. He could go all the way. Sweat is going to go in for the touchdown. 48 yards for the Bulldog touchdown.
Okay, Brody, can you take this to the house? He's really just got to beat one man if he cuts back to the middle. And oh my! Brody! Another touchdown. And by the way, first quarter still not over. They're going to run the timer now. No, they're going to leave 1 second there. 48-6 in the first quarter still.
Straight back to pass, looking downfield. This is a dangerous throw into coverage. And it's the pick tonight. Coming across the 50, now the 40. This is his second interception tonight. Down to the 30, 25-20. Will it be a pick six to the 15, to the 10, to the 5? Touchdown! MacArthur! That's what I'm talking about.
Giles back to pass, floats one downfield. He's got a man wide open. That ball is caught at the 30 to the 10, and that's into the end zone for an Eisenhower Eagle touchdown.
Weaver's going to have another shot at it.
Oh, look at him go downhill running. No one's going to stop him. He's gone. Jagger Weaver. Big tackles on the defensive side, and now he adds a touchdown to it. 4:20 left to go, and it's 20-0.
And off to Taylor, he finds a hole all the way to the end zone. Touchdown!
That is one of my he is one of my favorite players to watch. That's for sure. He is a head down. Nope, he's just running to the end zone. He's got one goal in his mind every time he gets the ball. It is so fun to watch him run.
He's going to keep it himself. He cuts to the outside. Keep running, Anderson. Run, man. Hold that ball. Touchdown. Carl Albert. Rice takes the ball. He's looking. Throws it to the inside. They tackle him. Carl Albert now throws the ball back. And he's down. Carl Albert wins the game.
Kobe Ranjay is going to run. Kobe Ranjay! Look at him go! Kobe Ranjay! Touchdown! The touchdown Bulldog! Yeah! As both teams come and celebrate with it. Look at that. That's great sportsmanship on both sides there.
That is
wow.
60, what was almost 70-yard touchdown run for Kobe Ranjay.
So great that our network had something that planned that both coaches let that young man score. Makes it both sides, and Carl Albert was animated. You see those guys are tripping over themselves to make sure he made that touchdown. But those are some great calls from what I consider some of the best that we have working for us each and every week. Before we go to our coaches selection, I want to recognize someone special to OSN for the man he is on and off the field. He didn't know this at the time, and we want to recognize him because he's retiring now. But his current resume is this: 2 consecutive Class 5A state semifinal appearances in 24 and 25. 2024 was the first semifinal berth for Newcastle in 20 years. 6 straight playoff appearances from 20 to 25. 2024 District 5A Coach of the Year after leading Newcastle to an undefeated conference championship, despite being picked 5th in the preseason. Quarterfinal appearance in the top 5 finish, Class in 4A in 2023. Oklahoma Sports Network Coach of the Year finalist in 22, 23, and 24. Achieved one of the largest comebacks in Oklahoma history in 2020, rallying from 20 points down with 90 seconds remaining to win 41-40. Development of all 3 All-State players and 60 All-District players. Coach Jeff Brickman has also been nationally recognized recruiting system that connected Newcastle athletes, college programs across the country. During his tenure as a high school head coach, 82 players earned football scholarships, including 18 NCAA Division I, 31 Division II, 13 NAIA, 9 JUCO, 3 NCAA Division III. Additionally, Coach Brickman has coached, helped develop 5 NFL players. He's retiring from coaching. It's going to surprise him tonight, but he is interviewing for his replacement. He's the athletic director at Newcastle. He had interviews all day today, and he'll have them tomorrow. I'll ask Coach Heskew if he can come up at this time as we honor Coach Jeff Brickman for an outstanding leadership role from the Oklahoma Sports Network. Our Coach of the Year nominees are those who have done a marvelous job of leading team. Maybe it's a turnaround, maybe it's continued success. So as I call up their names, if they will please come to the stage. First, welcome Coach Brett Manning from the MacArthur Highlanders. For the last 2 seasons, finishing 3rd in the district. This team was not happy, so this year's seniors' theme was get back. Wanted to get back to what MacArthur was used to seeing. Coach Manning's Highlanders did just that by winning the district with a 3-way tie for first place with the points, getting back to the semifinals, a place that MacArthur would end up many years ago, wanted to return. Brett Manning is also District 5A Coach of the Year. Jeremy Reed of Altus. After winning a state title in 2015 and moving away, Mr. Reed found himself back in Altus and a rebuild, doing something different than what Altus was used to in the Flex Bone. A 1-9 team in 23, to 4-6 in 24, to 8-3 this past season, with a lot of milestones and a lot of school records. And finally, Kevin Witt of Jones. Locked in on a mission after losing to Washington by 1 point in the semifinals 2 years ago, this team set their sights on a championship run, an undefeated season, state champions for the first time in about a decade, and Oklahoma Coaches Association Region 8 Coach of the Year. We'll play their video, and then we'll have our nominees answer some questions.
Well, we've got a lot of changes. Got new defensive staff, not all the way, but a lot of new defensive coaches and doing some different things on defense. And as always, making adjustments offensively and trying to do what's best for our personnel. Yeah, I can't say enough about our seniors and the way they've been leaders in our program for the last 4 years. Really good kids, really hard workers, great example for the younger guys, and they're doing a great job.
So there was a lot of work on trying to get, coaches use the word buy-in, but really just getting some interest. And so try to do some out-of-the-box things to try to get interest back. I'll be honest, kids don't care that I was here and won a state championship. I mean, that's not an interest anymore to kids. Kids are a little different in the aspect of, what can you do for me now? And I embrace that. I don't look at that as a negative. You gotta adjust as times move on.
Like I said, it's been 742 days since we lost to these guys by a point in the semifinals 2 years ago, and we've wanted this ever since.
What does it mean for the Jones community?
Everything, man. It's a competitive community. Everything we do, we love to win.
I have Tracy Mussett come up, and he's actually took over Jones midway through the season. Kind of had to pinch hit for us, and he's done a great job in football and basketball. So Tracy will have our interviews with Meet the Nominees for Coach of the Year.
So it's good to be here, and it was a great opportunity to be able to step in and join the football broadcast team at Jones this year. I will say that in all the years that I've been doing play-by-play, that is the first time that I've covered a team that's won a football state championship. So thank you to the Jones To you, Coach Witt, to the Jones community and the team. Really appreciate it, guys. It was fun for me too. So we will start off with questions. Since you're holding the microphone, Coach Witt, we'll start off with questions for you. And my first question to you is what the whole world wants to know, and it's what is the secret ingredient to the great beard? No, that's not the question. I'm just teasing. You're sitting on the stage with two coaches at 5A programs, and those programs we're looking at 1,200 to approximately 1,000 students in their high schools, a big talent pool that is there for them and come from larger communities. Obviously, the city of Lawton, 100,000 people, and Altus about 19,000, and here you are at Jones with a third or a fourth of the number of students, a community of about 3,000 people, and yet Jones competes every year in its class. It's right at the top. How do you maintain in a small community, how do you maintain a culture of excellence and performance in a small community like that?
Well, for us, our culture, it starts with relationships. That's the biggest thing for us. We think that, it takes that's the foundation, that trust in our kids and between coaches' kids, whether it's seniors, upperclassmen, underclassmen. It's that trust and taking care of one another that passes all those things that we teach along.
Thank you. Coach Reed? So it's already been mentioned multiple times here tonight, including a word for the Altus Bulldogs and improvement, and obviously being at the helm of the team, you're a big part of that. This is your second stint as a head coach at Altus. Your last time around, you won a state championship, and as has been mentioned, the years between that state championship and the last couple were, they were difficult. Not many wins, and yet you took that program and started the season with 7 wins in a row this year. My question is, for a new coach at a program that has been struggling for years, what is your advice to them on the beginnings of turning things around?
Well, I think there's a lot of layers. I'll keep it real short, but I think there's a couple things. Number one is your staff. If you're not building a staff of men that are not just like-minded but like-hearted, you're setting yourself back. You need people in the room that understand what the vision is of that staff room to get into the locker room. And I think it just starts there, and it's so important. And then number two is just building success and wins daily with a group of potential kids that don't know what that looks like. And that success may be measuring our success in the classroom and not turning in zeros. That success may be in some sort of development on campus that we're trying to find. You got to find wins. You got to learn how to win off the field before it ever happens on. And so those would be the two things I'd give advice for.
Thank you. And Coach Manning. It's already been mentioned tonight, the role of wives in supporting coaches and families and the changes that happen in coaching circles. It's not unusual for coaches to change communities, which can be a change in culture in many ways. But you've had a pretty short journey with one stop along the way, if I'm not mistaken, and now you're the head coach at your alma mater. And you performed well as a player at MacArthur many years ago, and you're back there with the reins now and doing well. And my question is, how are the expectations different, and how do you manage them being the hometown guy?
Well, I don't think the expectations are different. Everybody up here, we have high expectations for our staffs, for our kids, and that's the way you're successful is to set those expectations, and it's a daily grind. You gotta work at it every day and try to impress those upon your kids and continue to get better. We're all doing it in the weight room right now. Every day we want it to be better than the day before and keep building on that and let everybody know that our culture is about not just winning games but being better people and striving to be the very best that we can be.
Thank you very much, and thank all three of you as coaches for keeping your answers somewhat brief. Appreciate that.
Get you the envelope here.
if you do the honors.
No medals for them, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to,
No
hang, I
participation.
wanted to hang medals around your neck, you know? And the 2025 Oklahoma Sports Network Coach of the Year is Kevin Witt of the Jones Longhorns.
I had mentioned in the beginning that of our 13 teams, 8 went into the playoffs. 5 remained for the semifinals, and 2 went on to become state champions, 1 very close runner-up. It really is a pleasure for me when I get to stay on the sidelines and be a part to document your success. So I want to shortly recap and represent the recap of our 3 state finalists and what they were able to accomplish this year.
I know this is what we wanted, this is who we wanted, okay? We've been waiting for this game, man, okay? This is what we've done it for right here, to meet these guys on this stage. You understand? That's what we want, is these guys right here on this stage.
I remember looking at Ada, and they had 19 by, I think, 1995, and thinking, no way, nobody ever gets to that, you know, and to tie it last year, and then this be the group that goes and gets to break it and break the record. And I said it last year that it's a stingy group, and they wanted to be the only one standing on that deal, and so we talked about it the Monday after our state game. They had a hashtag on the board that said 20-piece, and so, you know, to go out and get it, just unbelievable, great, awesome.
There's a lot of pride that comes with this, but you know, the ability to be humble is something that I've learned over the years, and it's not me being humble when I say that O-line is the reason that this was it's just the truth. It's not me being humble. It's just me telling the truth. This O-line is the only reason that this was possible. There's nothing. Just this life that I've been blessed with by Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, man. They've always, people have thought that they couldn't be anything to an extent. I'm just so proud of them for leading us and getting us back to this point and who they are and what they've become, man. And that's what we do as a coach. You just love to see guys grow and mature and become, you know, men one day when they leave this program. And I can't say enough about them. I'm so proud of who they are as a football player and as a young man one day as they leave our program.
like I said, it's been 742 days since we lost to these guys by a point in the semifinals 2 years ago, and you know, we've wanted this ever since.
This is the highest peak you can go out on. I'm just all smiles right now. It's been about 10 years since we brought one back, and as much as we're going to hoist this gold ball, they're going to hoist it with us.
Unbelievable feeling, man. I can't be more proud of my team. I can't explain it, but I'm just so excited, man. It's big, gold, and we're state champs, baby.
You got the best seats in the house, I'll tell you what. And I love the accomplishments of all of our OSN teams, especially at the highest level. So the last category for tonight is our OSN Player of the Year. So as I introduce each one of them, if they'll come up to the stage, and welcome the 2025 OSN nominees for Player of the Year. Ritzenmeyer of Elgin had 239 carries for 1,679 yards, 41 touchdowns, with 358 receiving yards and 4 TDs. He's been added to the 100 career touchdown recipient for Elgin and will be attending Abilene Christian this next fall. Ritzenmeyer of Elgin. Elijah Matthews of Carl Albert, 254 carries, 2,033 yards, 44 touchdowns, averaging 8 yards a carry. He had 11 games where he rushed for over 100 yards, and he was 5 for 5 in passing for 132 yards, was named Gatorade Player of the Year, Max Preps Player of the Year, most single-season rushing touchdowns in school history, and to say that for Carl Albert, that is quite an accomplishment. 44 total, and add the fact that he will be back again next year as a junior with 4 Division I offers. Mr. Matthews. Mason Hansen of Jones, 183 for 238 in attempts, 2,692 yards rushing, passing, 33 touchdowns, rushed for 1,107 yards for 17 touchdowns. First team All-State quarterback has committed to SWASU this fall. We'll have a video presentation. You guys can have a seat, and we'll have Vincent Saylor come up and ask some questions.
Well, congratulations to all 3 of you guys. I mean, this is probably, in the 4 years we've been doing this, is probably the greatest panel that we've had for Players of the Year, and the numbers speak for themselves. So congratulations to all you guys, not only your individual success, but also your team success as well. We're going to start with you, start with quarterback, obviously, as an old quarterback. There's times in games, in times, like we all have that one, just throw, and it may not be a touchdown, it may not be a situation that all the fans think of or whatnot, but take us through your best throw or the throw that meant the most to you in 2025.
It just played on the video. It's I'm rolling out left to my weak side, and I jump off of 1 foot and throw it cross-body to the sideline. And I had a post on Twitter about it, and it was awesome.
Now, Coach, did you like that one quite as much as he did? Okay, yeah. So Elijah, moving on to you now. Congratulations again. During your interview after the state championship game, you mentioned the offensive line and being humble and things like that. Talk a little bit about what those guys up front meant to you and how they got you to the numbers that you were able to get to.
Yeah, man, those guys, even at practice, they're always just on their schemes. They're always doing what they're told to do. And they're so sound and they're so consistent. And that's what makes them the leader right there, Thomas Welch, man. He's a great one. So, they're just consistent every day at practice, and they're really the leaders of the team.
Awesome. Ritson, this one's for you. I've got the privilege of watching all 104 touchdowns in person. And good luck to you this weekend, too, going for his 4th potential state championship in wrestling as well. Ritson, we're looking back at it as a freshman. You've come a long way, obviously, with 104 touchdowns. Can you just put your career in perspective for everybody out here, your football career at least?
Man, I wouldn't have wanted to do it anywhere else, man. Elgin, that community, man, they were there every Friday night. They showed out, man. They were loud, had them little shakers and horns, man. Every touchdown was like the game was 0-0, first touchdown. But man, just blessed for my opportunity and what God has given me. So
awesome. Well, congratulations to all you guys, and it is now time to announce the winner. Again, a lot of us have gone back and forth with this category. Eric and I have talked a little bit about it over the last couple of weeks, and this was the hardest one we've had in the 4 years of this award show. So, without further ado, it always looks like it's easy to open these things. It's not quite that easy. And your Player of the Year, Oklahoma Sports Network Player of the Year, Asen Hansen of Jones.
Again, I want to thank each and every one of you. And I know, and Vincent said it, I had 2 judges call me back and said, I had to change. I put down what I thought, and then I had to look it over again. That's why it's out of our hands as a network. We try to do the best we can and to get the many voices that are in our community as far as what we do to try to help us get that way. Really proud of all the accomplishments, like I said, of not only individuals but teams. 13 schools in the networks and adding. We've got 3 new schools coming on next year. So I'm very happy, not announcing that yet, but we'll be having some announcements shortly to add to the network. Appreciate everything that you guys have done. Thank you for coming this evening. And of course, if I could have all of the winners, if they could stay and get a group photo, I would appreciate that. You guys have a pleasant evening and a safe travel back if you've come out. This has been a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.